Hey there, friends. Reasons not to move to Northwest Arkansas. We're going to get right into it. Hope you are ready for some of these reasons. I know you've probably been doing your research in different parts of Arkansas or different states, but wanted to kind of give you some reasons in Northwest Arkansas. My family, we moved here in 2003. Uh, Traffic was not that bad. We've got a lot of families moving into Northwest Arkansas, as you probably know from doing your research. So the traffic has increased tremendously since 2003. A lot of infrastructure going on, construction. You know, for me, I travel down J Street right in front of the home office. We live pretty close to that area. And, you get in a routine of places that you notoriously go. And J Street, right in front of the home office, is one of the worst places right now in front of the home office with all the construction. You plan on just being at a dead stop at some point, but that's happening all over. There's a lot of construction going on. So if you're coming from a big city, you're probably not going to be affected by it as much. But if you're used to slower pace, easy traffic, not a lot of stoplights, man, this is going to be a shock to you. I know, even being from here or living here a while, it's taken some transition for us just to get used to the traffic. I'll give you a perfect example. This morning I was heading to the gym, and right on J Street, there was some road rage about 7 a.m. Wasn't expecting that. I was about 3 or 4 cars behind it, but they were basically playing demolition derby, and around the cloverleaf, that's what I call it, roundabout, he basically stopped, and the car had to go up on the median to get around him. So you're seeing more of that in Northwest Arkansas with more families moving into this area. So wanted to kind of educate you on that. Be prepared to have heavy traffic, maybe plan ahead. But do your research on the traffic situation. I think you're going to see that get worse before it gets better, until they probably get more of the infrastructure done. Weather, we have all 4 seasons here, so weather is another concern for people. If you're used to hot weather mainly all the time, you're going to come here, you're going to get your spring, you're going to have your summers that are hot, and then right now we're in the winter. So fall's short, seems like spring's short, but your summers and winters probably last, depending on the year, November to February range is kind of what I would say most of the time. I mean, we have had snow in April here, probably even later than that if you talk to some of the townspeople that are from here. But this is a transplant area. You've got a lot of people coming in with it, which is good and bad. And I mean, you've got a lot of different types of people coming in. This area is not, there's not too many people anymore that are just originally from here. There is that, but most of the people that are here now have lived in other places and are moving here, maybe due to Walmart, Tyson, JB Hunt, bringing a lot of families in. So if you're expecting the weather to stay the same, let's say if you're coming from San Diego, California, and you're kind of expecting that same climate, get used to Northwest Arkansas weather. What's the saying? If you're not used to it, or if you're not happy with it, just sit back, it'll change. That's kind of the saying in some of these areas where you don't know what you're going to get. Speaking of weather, you've got the humidity. So allergies are bad here when you first come in. You may never get used to it. I know with me in the mornings, I always wake up stuffy. I might sound stuffy talking right now, but that is something else that you're going to have to deal with. And then correlating with the weather outside, you've got bugs, we've got snakes, we've got mosquitoes, we've got termites here in Northwest Arkansas, a lot of wildlife. So, if you're not an outdoors person, you'll be fine staying inside. But if you're okay with that stuff, just know that, you'll have some bugs and mosquitoes and bees and all kinds of wildlife. So that's either good or bad, depending on what you're into. One of the other things I would say is healthcare. You know, if you're coming from a major city and, you know, got all kinds of healthcare, I think that's starting to improve here in Northwest Arkansas, where, you know, maybe you don't have to go to Little Rock anymore. They're trying to, I know, improve the healthcare here. But if you're living in a rural part of Northwest Arkansas, it's going to take you a few minutes. You got to kind of weigh those options. If you're needing the healthcare, you know, you got to weigh that out. High-speed internet, speaking of rural, some places just don't have that yet. You know, AT&T and Cox is the big internet providers here. So do your due diligence when, if you really fall in love with the property, maybe in the rural setting, maybe do your due diligence, especially now working out of the house. A lot of people are working out of their houses. If you need that high-speed internet, you know, ask your agents, ask me to check in that for you. You can call Cox and AT&T and just give them the address. They should be able to tell you kind of what internet, you know, is out there. Starlink is a provider now for rural areas, so if that works for you, if you can't do Cox or AT&T, I know some of the areas now are getting fiber optic, which is good, but those are things you got to think about if you're moving in the rural areas of Northwest Arkansas. And, you know, speaking of that, if you can work out of your house and it has the internet, and you want to avoid that traffic, there's some great spots. You've got Gravette, Gentry, even Eureka Springs. You've got Farmington, kind of not as rural anymore, but you can get out towards Lincoln, Arkansas. That's more parallel with Prairie Grove, Lincoln, Summers, I believe. It's kind of out there. And then you can go the other way from Fayetteville, which would be heading east. There's Elkins, Combs. There's some rural areas out there to where you can get maybe away from this busy traffic. West Fork, another nice little town. And then you've got Missouri. We're right on the border, so some folks are kind of going over there now if they're wanting to get away from this busyness. But these are kind of the things you need to kind of do your own research on. Traffic is my number one thing, I would say, is depending on where you're coming from, it's going to be probably the biggest negative to you moving to Northwest Arkansas. You might look at the sales tax as well. Sales tax is up there. A lot of people that live in Bella Vista, they just go to Missouri. Missouri's sales tax is less than Arkansas on your groceries and whatnot. But hope this video has helped you. These are some of the reasons to avoid Northwest Arkansas. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My name's Thad with Flat Fee Realty. My number is 479-200-0863. You can email me at thad@thadsaleshomes.com. Text me 479-200-0863. Be glad to help however I can, be a resource for you here in Northwest Arkansas. Hope you have a great day.